Hello! This is an update to my last guide. Last one was a League Start guide that I did about 2 to 3 days into the build. And it was very successful. Definitely I would consider still a very good League Start. And then, took a bit of a break, holidays and whatnot. And I came back and started revamping it and giving it way more investment. So, first off, let's look at the gear. Gear's the same. We're using Glacial Hammer. I'll get to faster attacks in a second, but we actually have an increased critical strike chance now because instead of just completely giving up on the first 2 attacks, get a bit of a critical strike chance so that those attacks also hit on a lower percentage chance due to the Winds of Fate, but still with a pretty nice high chance. Elemental damage, multi-strike, and I got an Awakened Melee Fizz. I'm going to get an Elemental Damage Awakened version eventually. They're pretty expensive, but, I mean, I have the money thanks to this build, but it's fine. Right, Chains of Emancipation. This one was suggested by some people on Reddit and in the comments. Very nice, very good, especially on maps with Curse with Temporal Chains on it. Basically negates a lot of the issue we had with ramp up getting to max rage. So now I do this, and instead of wasting a flask slot because they're pretty important, I just use a Holy Flame Totem because when you enter the aura, it removes any curses on you, and that gives us the full rage effect. Also immune to curses, and got a pretty nice chaos and life on that. Still using the Southbound gloves, and I've basically pulled back on a lot of the other defenses, like a lot of the regeneration. I dropped the vitality for some more space, some more just flat life, so I'm not reserving that. And that's mostly because the freeze duration's pretty crazy. I tested it out. Also, I got a max frenzy charge on the gloves. That's also nice. Things to note: better rings, actually like expensive rings. A curse with enemies, curse with frostbite on hit ring. That one's very nice. I don't have to self-cast frostbite anymore. This, you got your classic chance to avoid being shocked, and then I got an Abyss Jewel in my passive tree, and some revamps, added the classic melee totems. I used the Val version just because I like seeing them jump around. Sorry, still a bit sick. Passive tree. Same thing, removed the mana efficiency skill over here just because really didn't need it, and I'm thinking about replacing Barkskin because I want this build to be able to move on to the next league, so we'll see what can be put there as a defensive layer. I removed the Lessons of Seasons because I was able to get a full shock immunity, and along with Storm Shroud and this Corrupted Blood Cannot Be Afflicted, I'm pretty much immune, so this one really doesn't have much effect on me anymore. And then I moved it over to the Tinctures. Gain 3 charges when you hit an enemy, and 30% increased effect, because we still have this very nice tincture that all damage can shock. I have it right next to a good Bottled Faith. Well, not very good, it's not max roll, but and a Taste of Hate. Both of these improve our defenses and damage very nicely. And also have an Aziri's Promise just for extra damage. And some Leech Chaos Resistance. And still using a Life Flask because, like I said, this is not a tanky build. This is not something where you can just let the enemies hit you. Because ideally, you're just going to be freezing everything. And they can't hit you because they're frozen. This is not a defensive build, this is a crowd control build. Ooh, new terms. Over here, I don't think I talked about this yet, but I got a Brutal Restraint for the dexterity, and eventually I'm going to replace all of these nodes with flat Fizz as Extra Cold. That's the best thing you can get on these. And then I also have Second Sight, because Second Sight lets you have a lot more critical strike chance, albeit with added cost of needing a lot more accuracy on your gear, which I got through this and leveling up my precision a lot more. But that's actually really nice because that pushes our critical strike chance to 41 base. That goes down a bit when we have max blitz charges, but still, it's very nice so that our first two attacks can actually hit. Anything else? I'm hoping to eventually get over here, and then I got this upgraded cluster jewel, with Smite the Weak, Weighted Advantage, and Overlord. I'm going to eventually replace these, even though these are nice for damage, with the Leech ones, Feel the Fight and Feed the Fury, so that I can finally... I've been running Maven maps. I could finally get Lever Thief off my amulet, and I can replace it with something much better, maybe a max endurance charge for some defenses, or whatever POB tells me. I've also probably going to include a POB which shows pretty nice damage. I'd say about 3 mil right now. Really, the only thing I really want is to figure out how to gain friends power charges pretty quickly and reliably, because right now we're just getting it on block, and power charges are very good. They increase the damage quite a bit. But yeah, no, I've been doing a lot of farming. Like, it's been very nice, especially for the kind of playstyle I like, where I like running Maven stuff. I've just been farming maps, and I've made a lot of my money through maps and Abyss stuff. Abyss is fun. Everyone's doing Abyss now, but I was doing it first, so yeah, some basic stuff, just some Breach as well. And yeah, overall, I'd say this build super clear, super clean. Been doing fun, been farming invitations. Probably won't switch over to the Primalist, but that's definitely a direction you can go. Next thing I do need is a way better armor slot. Yeah, no, that's about it. Here's the obligatory map showcase. This time with Maven and a slightly juiced map. Let's hope my computer doesn't lag here. But yeah, no. For any suggestions for improving damage a lot faster, so yeah, we got Temporal Chains. Usually you just wait for someone to hit you, or you'd slot in Bone Shatter, and then you just pop that, and then you're good. You should be good for the rest of the map until you die. And then, yeah, just gonna be doing Wildwood. Yeah. Okay. So, really, I'd say the biggest strength of this build is being able to farm bosses. Because with the Maven, there's the node that spawns 3 bosses at the end of the map. And it's like, oh, well, okay, well, that's chaotic. You don't know what you're going to get. You're going to have to deal with that. Well, if you're lucky enough and you get all of them to spawn within, you know, a close quarter, then you can just stun lock them. Oh, that's an explode one. Yeah, big hits. Big hits are the big issue. Yeah, like, that rare couldn't do anything. Race course. I gotta go faster. I gotta go faster. POE metrics are shown off on speed. How quickly can you do everything? Can you beat the map within a minute? I want to copy your build. Yeah. It's very casual. Yep. But don't stand still like I was doing. I kind of zoned out there for a second. So as long as you're just not standing still, you know, classic stuff you should be doing in a build, it should be fine. I'm definitely not the best player. I'm no Ben, but something like this should be very nice for people who like running strike builds. And honestly, I feel vindicated. Alright, is this the boss? Yep. Pop, pop. Alright, they were destroyed, and then I don't even know which bosses they were. Oh, that one's empowered. Okay, so this is taking an extra second. And then he's frozen again, and he's dead. Cool. Yep, that's the showcase. If you have any suggestions for me, want to do some upgrades, or just want to talk about the mechanics and whatnot, please leave a comment. Bye-bye.